Hello and welcome back to some MTG Vintage Cube content. If you're here for Cube, you've come to the right place. Here we are, pick one, pack one, staring at Jace in the face. I think I want to just take Jace here. Other strong cards include the Jite, obviously 3 fairies, pretty good, but let's start on Jace the Monskull. I haven't picked first pick to Jace in a while, and he's pretty strong still. And see what we can build here. Well, so after a strong blue card like Jace, you kind of already look to the other blue card in the pack, which is Consecrated Sphinx. Sphinx is a fine card. I kind of lost the game to it on my last video. Just the pure card draw is just very, very advantageous. So let's take Sphinx here. It's a 6-drop. It's hard to cast sometimes. Now, normally you would follow up kind of a blue start like this with Factor Fiction, but let's just take Monkey here. Monkey is a amazing card. And yeah, like turn 1 Monkey. Let's get it done. Okay, so we are still getting past some blue cards here. Treasure Cruise is another fun card if we have ways to put cards in the graveyard. You know, the Factor Fiction last pick would have been really good for this, but I did opt to take the Monkey. Hex Drinker also very strong. I don't know if I want to play 3 colors quite yet. At least not until we get a strong reason to go into a 3rd color. So let's just take the Treasure Cruise, continue to cut blue here, and hopefully we can get rewarded pack 2. Ooh, okay, so interactive blue card, Brazen Borrower versus Urza's Saga. Saga may be the right pick there. Let's pick up the blue card again, looking for interaction, and Brazen Borrower fits that bill here. No blue, I don't want Inkwell, and these red cards are not very strong. However, Liliana is quite strong. You know, maybe we're not playing the Monkey, the Ragavan, which would be really sad. But I think the strongest card in the pack here is Lily. Parallax Wave also very strong, but not looking to do the white thing. Let's take Lily and see what else we can snag. All right, there's another blue card, Chart a Course, which is fine card draw. Not looking at the Avalanche Riders or the Expansion Explosion. Tamiya's okay, but let's just take the card draw. I know we'll play it. All right, there's a Tundra, but we are not in white. Off-color Signet, not a fan of those. Vraska, also a recurring Nightmare. We don't really have a lot of creatures. I mean, we have a couple creatures right now. I don't know if it'll be a recurring Nightmare is just so strong. If your opponent does not have an answer to it, that it can just take over the game. We'll see how we build the deck. All right, Toxic Deluge. Picking up a few black cards here. Toxic is a great removal spell. Really protects Planeswalker as well. It looks like the only card near our colors here is the Lurrus. I don't think we're a Lurrus deck. We will just pick it up here. Okay, there's a Hymn to Turak. That's a really great black card. Now, we are getting a lot of double blue, double black pip cards, so fixing going to be of the utmost importance. Okay, a lot of green cards here coming around. Probably not playing it, though. There's a Pelukrinos. I guess we'll take that. They're not going to play Eidolon. Sword, okay. And looks like we're rounding out pack 1 here. Sculler. All right. Pack 2, what do you got? Ding dang, Soul Ring. Get in the deck. Oh, Soul Ring's perfect here. I mean, that can enable a turn to Jace. Super strong. Let's remove these red cards for now. Slam this Soul Ring. Really excited to get it. I doubt we'll get the Grief on the wheel. There's also a Treachery and a Cryptic in here. And I'd be fine with any of these cards. So Soul Ring, Hope to Wheel, Grief, Treachery, or Cryptic. And we'll see what comes back around. So after a Soul Ring like that, Gonti could also be a turn 2 Gonti. Probably not as strong as a turn 2 Jace, but a Soul Ring just enables so many shenanigans. Now we're looking at the Gilded Drake, though Gilded Drake is a valid card. And Seagate Stormcaller, really just a role player here for Time Walk and the Turns deck. So let's take Gonti, really solidify here into blue-black, and I'll be happy about this. Now there is a Xander's Lounge in that pact to note. Okay, Darkslick Shores, probably a card we need there. Here, well, there's a Demonic Tutor and a Phantasmal Image and a Night's Whisper. Let's take the Demonic Tutor. Just, you know, getting any card out of your deck's pretty good. So there's Dismember. That's probably the safest pick, as we don't have really a lot of interaction, but I also like Dak. Let's just take the Greatest Thief in the Multiverse there. Here, so we could look at Chrome Mox, a Marsh Flats to fetch out a land, or the Get Probe. Let's take the Marsh Flats. Maybe that Xander's Lounge from a previous pack here will wheel, and then that'll fix us for all 3 colors. Spellseeker, K Command, and Aspire Bluff. I do like K Command. There's a Douthie Voidwalker that works pretty well as well, but I think if we want to play this DAC, we need to take the Spire Bluff, so let's take the Smart Fixing. Damnation, another good thing to have here with these walkers. So we got 2 board wipes, both in black to protect these planeswalkers that we have. Unholy Heat here, let's move that to the board. Still gonna want some more fixing, I think. All right, there's that Xander's Lounge coming back around. That's the perfect Grixis tri-land. So, and our Marsh Flats can get that right out. There's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Wow, coming around 10th pick. I think that card is stronger than Echo of Aeons there. So let's take our second red card. So with Dak Fade and Fable, maybe we bring Monkey back in and we just do this pure Grixis control type build. Night's Whisper is a nice add for our deck here. Some card draw, additional card draw. We do need some more interaction, I think. Don't want the Tangle Wire. We'll take the Light Up the Stage. Probably not play it. And looks like we're rounding out pack 2. Future Imp. Okay. All right, pack 3. There's a Mana Drain. Yeah, that's a great card. Can help us cast a big Sphinx or Treasure Cruise early. Here, so there's a Creeping Tar Pit. That's another great fixing. I do love Archon of Cruelty, but we're really not doing the Reanimator thing. Let's take the fixing. Tar Pit's a great card for that. And there's a Blackleaf Cliffs as well, which I think we should take here. Again, we just want to play our spells. And so we'll take any fix and a Prismatic Vista. All right, so fixing definitely coming around in this third pack. You'd love to see it. Scarab God, another powerful card. There's also a Hex Mage for some early creature defense of our own planeswalkers and to take care of opponents' planeswalkers. Let's just take the Scarab God. This may not be right as we only have 5 creatures total now. Hex Mage may have been a smarter pick there. Here are the choices between Grim Monolith and Dark Confident. Let's take the Dark Confident here. The card draw is just really good. Ooh, okay, and there's a Duretti as well. I do like Duretti. Another real strong 3-mana Planeswalker. We'll just kind of be on some like Grixis Planeswalker control here. All right, Badlands, another great fixing land. Pack 3's really been nice to us for fixing. We've kind of lucked out, I think. So we have a lot of fixing lands here. We've got 8 lands so far, which means we have 21 playables. So we need a couple more playables. Murderous Rider is a playable. That can deal with opponents' planeswalkers and troublesome creatures. I think that's our pick. I don't know about any of these. Not playing Double Red Hellrider. Don't need Yawgmoth. Not really looking at Wishclaw. And Emrakul for the memes, right? Here's a Scavenger. That's another good blocker for our planeswalkers. Also a Satoru Umezawa, but I think that card is pretty awkward to play with. So I think I want to pick up this Scavenger here. It's just a known quantity. Jackal Hops for the board. There's that Hex Mage coming back around. So rewarded that we got the Hex Mage and the Scarab God there. So, and Voltaic Visionary. I don't think we'll play the Visionary. Probably not quite strong enough. All right, here's how we built it. We got headliners Jace, Duretti, Dak, and Lily. Making ourselves a Grixis control shell here. With those great planeswalkers, Soul Ring, enabling all these shenanigans, and a decent amount of fixing lands. So let's take this Grixis Walker control deck into the league and see if we can score a trophy. All right, welcome. Match 1, game 1. We are on the play against Aquilo. This opening hand, I think we can keep it on the back of Chartacourse. We have blue and black mana, and if we could find that red mana, it'd be super sweet. Hoping to do that here with Chartacourse. So let's keep it. We'll lead out Island and then just pass the turn. See what our opponent is up to here. All right, Rafine's Tower. Chartacourse, we do not Chartacourse into, Plains Island Swamp. So Esper on the other side of the table. We do not Chartacourse into a red mana source, unfortunately. And every single one of these other black cards has 2 mana pips, 2 black mana pips, so we can't cast any of them because we'll have 3 blue mana and 1 black. So this is a little awkward. Let's ditch the scavenger here as we can always get it back with Liliana, and really hoping we can get lucky on this draw step. All right, opponent also charts a course. Ditching a Mindslaver. Okay, some artifact shenanigans on that side of the board. All right, sweet. There's a Marsh Flats. We can use this to grab our Badlands, and I think we just get Fable down right away here. Our opponent did not play an artifact, so let's just hold Dak. Though I'm guessing our opponent does have a bunch of artifacts since they ditched the Mindslaver off the Chart a Course of discard. Third land here from the opponent, basic island. Into a Monastery Mentor. Okay. Well, we do have removal for that with the Murderous Rider. All right, we draw a Scarab God, and now we have our second chapter here from Fable. I want to hold the Dak and the Lily for sure. I think we just get rid of like maybe Gonti. We can always get Gonti back with Liliana's downtick. Hold the land. So we could play Scarab God this turn by attacking into the Mentor. We can also just get rid of the Mentor with Swift End off the Murderous Rider. Let's just ditch the Gonti. We draw a Consecrated Sphinx. Okay. Let's get in there first. I doubt our opponent will block. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, so I'm going to lean towards Swift Ending the Swift Spear here, but I think there's argument for just slamming Scarab God, though that could run into something like a Daze. All right, there's a Gruul Signet on the other side of the board. That's something we can definitely steal with Dak. And opponent regrowths the Monastery Mentor back to hand. Okay. We draw another land, which is good since we're holding something like Sphinx. Our Saga flips into Reflection here. So we have a lot of options. I definitely want to steal the Signet with Dak. Though again, maybe it's just right to slam Scarab God. Scarab God is so strong and represents quite a clock. And we have 8 mana available. We can actually do both. No, miscounted again. We have 4 mana. Gosh, got to stop doing that. So let's actually just get Lily down as well. So steal our opponent's artifact, down ticking on the deck. Playing a second Planeswalker will uptick. And I love having a... actually, let's down tick and get Gonti back. I just love Gonti. And 2 active Planeswalkers on the battlefield. Your turn, opponent. Okay, Thespian Stage. Interesting. Wonder if they have some Dark Depths shenanigans over there as well. So they play a Mentor, play a Mox triggering Mentor. That's pretty good. Play a second Signet, Orzhov Signet this time, triggers Mentor again. They have another play. They have a third Signet. Okay. So a lot of Mentor triggers, great plays there by the opponent. They're down to 1 card in hand, but they have assembled an army. Now, luckily we can kill one of these monk tokens with a Liliana uptick. Oh, wait. We draw Toxic Deluge. All right, so this is going to be kind of sick. Let's uptick on Lily, targeting the Mentor. This will make a Mentor a 0/1, and then we can Toxic, paying 1 life, which will wipe our opponent's board, and our creatures will survive. And it kind of just negate all those monk tokens our opponent just made. I like that. We can uptick on Dak again as well. Draw some more cards. A lot of card filtering here with Dak. It's pretty nice. Let's get in with the Shaman token. This will give us a 5th mana source. So let's just play this Gonti, though I think we should uptick with Dak first, so just to see what else we draw. So a little bit of misordering here, I think. And our opponent reveals Kuldotha, Metalworker, Winter Orb. Let's take the Winter Orb, even though our opponent does have a lot of rocks on the other side of the battlefield. So there's a Demonic Tutor and the Brazen off the deck. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with this card choice here. Is like, I don't need Demonic Tutor. Like, we have all of our good cards in hand. Scarab God's going to be very powerful, and we probably don't need more card draw with Sphinx. And so putting Scarab God and Brazen Borrower in the bin, I think, is a mistake, to be honest. Brazen Borrower, just some crucial interaction that we may need. And Scarab God just on terms of power level. All right, opponent is apparently on the all signets game plan, which when you have Dak on your side of the battlefield feels pretty good. Then they memory jar with 2 mana available. Okay. So all these cards are going to go away on our side. So sorry, Jace. And then they play an Emery. Okay. What do they got? They got an Inkwell, Soul Ring, Mindslaver. So we could be getting Mindslaver locked here if we're not careful. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana on the battlefield. They could put Mindslaver. Oh no, they don't have enough mana to activate Academy. Yeah, that's lucky. All right, we draw Dark Confident. We don't need more card draw in our hand. We have so much of that going on. I think we do some shenanigans here with Reflection and make a second Gonti, steal another card from our opponent, as they have no cards in hand, but they can do some Mindslaver shenanigans for sure. I think the right call here is to maybe downtick on Dak, but let's just draw a couple more cards. Not sure what I'm looking for here. So I'm really not sure what the right line of play here is. We could just demonic and get whatever card we want, but there's not too many cards left in our deck. Again, yeah, okay, so there's 2 lands. I'm looking for an answer to this Emery. Oh, okay, so Duretti. Yeah, Duretti is definitely an answer. All right, so Duretti will be able to deal with Emery. We don't have to worry about getting Mindslaver locked quite yet, as that Academy Ruin effectively costs 3 mana to activate. So we'll play Duretti here. I think making a copy of Gonti is more fun. Just exile some more cards here of our opponent, but this will give us 2 additional mana. And what this is going to allow us to do is to destroy our opponent's Emery by sacking a treasure token. And then we can also play Winter Orb and kind of lock our opponent out a little bit. No, okay. No Winter Orb play. All right. Yeah, not sure why we copied the Shaman versus just copying Gonti again. So that's definitely a punt. Definitely some soft play here, as we're not really like threatening a lot of life or taking our opponent's resources. I mean, I do like that we killed the Emery, but I think we were not as efficient as we could have been. Okay, it looks like opponent puts Memory Jar back on top of their library. Interesting. They could have done that this turn if they would have activated Memory Jar in their upkeep instead of in their main phase. They just Memory Jarred again. Okay, I think they're trying to mill us out, but they're also milling themselves out here. Interesting, interesting. So they can just do that again, but I think it'll kill them as well. Not sure how that rules interaction would work, because we're both drawing, and they have less than 7 cards in their library. And they Frantic Search, going down to 3 cards. So it's kind of a weird game where our opponent and I both have very few cards in our libraries. We've been activating Dak. They've Memory Jarred twice. See, had we copied the Gonti last turn, they'd be down to 2 cards, and then I could kill them with Dak just by making them draw and discard, and then they draw on their draw step, or they die on their draw step. Ooh, they play Tezzeret. Okay. So I definitely don't want Tezzeret ultimating here, but I think this is going to come down to cards in library on this game. So I definitely want to play Winter Orb. Oh, they Vindicate. Okay, they Vindicate the Reflection, which is pretty smart. Now no, we can't get Reflection back. It's just, it's not a creature that we can get back with Lily, unfortunately. All right. Yeah, Dark Confident Consecrated Sphinx in hand. Not that great here when you got 1 card in your library. So I'm actually going to plus on Dak, targeting our opponent, make them draw down to their last card. And then I'm going to play Winter Orb. It's going to lock them out of enough mana that they will not be able to put Memory Jar back into their hand using Academy. And then they'll draw and they'll have 0. And then we'll still have to draw. So unless the last card in their deck is an answer to make us draw or kill us, we should have this game, but just barely. Now they're down to 1 card, which they'll draw next turn. And then they'll only be able to untap 1 land with this Winter Orb. Though they will be able to untap all their artifacts and a couple of them twice there with Tezzeret. So they will still have access to mana. Like, I'm guessing they'll untap Tolarian Academy So we'll want to down tick here on Ready just to remove as much of our opponent's mana rocks from the battlefield that we can. And I'm going to swing at least one of these creatures at Tezzeret just so the Tezzeret can't down tick -5 and make all their artifacts into creatures. And then we can play Sphinx as well as a blocker. Sphinx's draw is a May ability, so we don't have to draw when our opponent draws. All right, Winter Orb coming down as well. Yeah, definitely. I think we down tick here with Duretti. Like, we don't need this Gruul Signet anymore. All right, opponent, your turn. One card. What land do you untap? Academy, right? Yep, good. They chose wisely. Yeah, I think they were hoping they could use their Academy runes to get like Mindslaver out and make us draw with our own deck or something. Yep, we will not draw with Consecrated Sphinx. Opponent has drawn their last card, 2 cards in hand. Can they kill us this turn? If they have a, Ancestral Recall would do it. Making us draw cards would do it. No, they can't. All right. Weird game. Coming down to attrition of the libraries. All right. Game 2 on the draw this time. Let's keep this one as well. We have Night's Whisper, which we can draw some cards off of. Brazen Borrower's Interaction, Dak, Fable, great cards. So I don't know which land I want to fetch yet with this Prismatic. Hopefully we can draw like a swamp or a mountain here. All right, Marsh Flats. Okay, we have all 3 colors. Let's actually get Xander's Lounge, I think, with this Marsh Flats. And that'll just really smooth our mana here for the rest of this game. Concealed Courtyard and the Celestial Colonnade into a Golgari Signet. All right, wish I had some faster mana so we can get this Dak down and steal that thing. We are going to have to wait at least 1 turn. But let's Petty Theft this thing. Let's just waste our opponent's turn on that one. I mean, I'm fine to use Brazen Borrower's Petty Theft to just set our opponent back 1 turn, because if they play it again, then I'll just slam Dak and steal it. There it is again. Okay, they just played and then passed. All right, Blackleaf Cliffs, another good draw. Our mana is looking great right now. Dak instantly resolves. That Golgari Signet is mine. Thank you very much. And we'll pass it back. Greatest thief in the multiverse there, Dak. Love it. All right, Field of the Dead. Okay, maybe that's what they're on land-wise with that Thespian stage. Into a Frantic Search. I'm happy to just slam Gonti next turn. All right, they ditch Balance and Winter Orb. Yeah, Balance would be really good, but not against us. Yeah, with our Planeswalker and Artifact out here. And since we have a Planeswalker on the battlefield, Winter Orb also not looking that good because we'll just get consistent value. So I get those discards from our opponent. And they chart a course as well. So definitely some good card filtering on their side. Ditching a Mishra's Workshop. All right. Okay, another land. So we're good on lands. Let's plus Dak here. Definitely don't need this swamp. And we can put the charter courses back. I mean, I do like having access to multiple colors. But again, let's slam Gonti here. Take a card out of our opponent's deck. We take Memory Jar, I guess. Don't really need a Mox. Don't really need more mana. I think we just take the Memory Jar here. We'll pass it back. Okay, Karn is a good play for them. And they uptick, revealing a Metalworker Thespian stage. I kind of want to give them the Metalworker. Like, I don't want them getting another land type, getting closer to Field of the Dead. But they also have 5 cards in hand as well, so the Metalworker could be a liability. Let's give them the Thespian stage. So here it is, and I'm assuming they'll make a copy of Field of the Dead soon. You draw Lily. Lily not great on this board, as there's a Planeswalker on the other side, which is pretty tough for us. Uptick on Dak, revealing a Creeping Tar Pit and a Duretti. I do like Tar Pit here because an unblockable attacker is pretty good. So don't need Lily, I don't think. And I don't think we need this other Prismatic Vista. Let's get Fable down. It's going to start generating some attackers. And we can also Night's Whisper as well, just to draw a couple more cards. We'll attack Karn here. I mean, at least there's no other artifacts on the side of the battlefield for our opponent. Otherwise, those constructs could be a problem. I do like monkey here. All right, so 6th different land type. One more, and he's going to start making Field of the Dead tokens. Also, if he makes a construct, we can just steal with Dax, so that's kind of nice. Upticks again, revealing an island Dimir Signet. I'll give him an island. He already has an island on the battlefield. All right, plays a Gruul Signet. This will make constructs bigger, but he knows I can just steal it with Dak, right? We already own one of his signets. And with a dashed Ragavan, without any blockers, we'll be able to take care of this Karn, which will be pretty nice. I think the biggest threat on the opponent's side of the battlefield right now is that Field of the Dead. So kind of kicking myself for giving him a Thespian stage. All right, then they cast Tezzeret, another Planeswalker. Are they going to downtick with Tezzeret? They shouldn't. I mean, yeah, they got to up. Oh, no, they are going to downtick for 0 for a Mox. Okay. Well, Dak is very strong now. Love it. Ooh, and then Vampire Hexmage. Yes. This is exactly why we drafted Vampire Hexmage and put her in the deck as, okay, and a Mana Drain, also quite nice. As we'll be able to take care of both of the opponent's Planeswalkers here, because we can attack down Tezzeret and then Vampire Hexmage, remove the counters off of Karn. So let's just steal an artifact here, and our opponent should tap this Mox Emerald in response. They don't. They have F6'd. Okay, that's nice. And unfortunately, we don't have enough mana to... No, we can dash Ragavan as well. But so let's take care of Karn. And then let's... we can this dashed Ragavan is really just free. We can attack down Tezzeret with the Goblin and Gonti, and the monkey can do his monkey business. Making multiple treasure tokens here. You love to see it. Yeah, taking both those Planeswalkers was great. Now the threat is just the Field of the Dead. So we do exile a Thirst for Discovery. We can pass that if we want to. Though it may just be better to get Brazen Borrower on the battlefield and just up our clock. Like, I don't need more cards right now, not with an active DAC. Because we could get Brazen Borrower down and still hold up Mana Drain. Or we can get Duretti down and hold up Mana Drain. So we have a lot of options. All right, let's get Duretti down here. I don't think we should be greedy. We have the board advantage, the Planeswalker advantage. Our Fable's going to flip, so I think the correct move here is to downtick the Duretti. Instead, I get greedy and we just uptick. C'est la vie. We do have Mana Drain backup right now, which is pretty nice. Let's see if that decision comes around to bite us. At least our opponent didn't find a 7th land type to turn on their Field of the Dead. They Foff. Nope. You don't get to get cards. I will get 5 mana or 4 mana though next turn. I don't know how we're going to use it. And then our opponent copies our Creeping Tar Pit. So that is a pretty good move, as they'll be able to attack into one of these Planeswalkers next turn. But now we got a bunch of mana. Jockle Hops. Unfortunately, I don't think I want a Jockle Hops here. We brought that in the sideboard. Maybe that wasn't a good choice, because we got the creatures we want, and Dak and Duretti can't really win on their own, unfortunately. All right, upticking with Dak again. Don't need a mana, and probably don't need Jockle Hops. Definitely should downtick with Duretti right now and just kill our opponent's Gruul Signet. So that makes sense. That was good. We don't need that construct either, as construct cannot block the Creeping Tar Pit on the opponent's side of the battlefield. And we just need to maximize damage here, like activate land and swing in. Dash a Ragavan, see what else we draw here. Yeah, and there's mana we still just can't really use. So, oh yeah, I forgot we had the mana from the Mana Drain. Maybe Jockle Hops Brazen Borrower was the answer. I don't think it was. Swinging in, bunch of damage. Exiling a Soul Ring from our opponent. Yes, thank you. I will play that. If we draw our Soul Ring and then we could have 2 Soul Rings out on the battlefield, that'd be pretty sweet. Dak stealing, I guess that was Monkey stealing some good stuff there. So Dak and Monkey combined is I just take all your nice things. All right, we'll pass it back. Planning to flash in the Brazen Borrower here. All right, opponent plays another Signet, just mono Signets on that side of the battlefield. If they swing in with the Creeping Tar Pit and just kill our Daretti or our Dak, like either one of those is fine. All right, they do activate Tar Pit. What target are they going to go after? Daretti. Okay, that's fine. Opponent's got one card in hand, so I think we got this one locked up here. Yep, they go to the end step. Let's flash in this Brazen Borrower. All right, and that's enough. They see it's the writings on the wall. Okay, interesting match. Attrition of decks here. A little loose play on our part, I think, but let's head into round 2. Welcome to match 2. We are on the draw against Rubik's, and we're going to slam keep this hand with the fetch land and the Soul Ring. OP leads out on Ketria Triumph. Let's see if we can get some fancy shenanigans done here. We draw a Toxic Deluge. So we'll lead out Soul Ring here, and then I want to get the Tri-Land here with the Marsh Flats, but we'll see what our opponent does, and that'll inform our next turn. Just Island Go, huh? Not a great turn 2 here, I don't think, for us. Let's get Xander's Lounge and just pass. Feels bad after leading out with a Soul Ring, right? But this will allow us to play our double black spells. We'll plan to get Gonti down next turn unless there's something we can kill with Liliana. Ooh, Boseiju. It's interesting that they didn't use that to kill the Soul Ring. Let's get Gonti down. Hopefully this resolves. We got some untapped blue mana here for the opponent. I like to see what they're up to here, besides Teamer. Ooh, they mana drain it. All right, yeah. So lots of mana over there for our opponent now. Poor old Gonti hitting the bin. Floated Strand fetched immediately. We have 2 board wipes in hand and Liliana. Like, we have a lot of creature removal. They play a Grixis. That's pretty good against our board wipes, unfortunately. Dak's no good against that. Yeah, just they really got some good work off of that mana drain. I think we need to clear the board, and I'd prefer not to pay 6 life to do it. So we'll just Damnation here, and we're gonna have to pass. Golos. All right, well, there's something that we can steal with a Dak. And then they get a Thespian stage. Interesting. Him's a pretty sweet draw, though, as well. Unfortunately, we cannot cast it this turn. We just won't have enough black mana. But let's get Dak down and steal our opponent's Golos. That always feels nice. Thanks for the Golos. And we'll pass the turn here. Oh, wait, no, we can Demonic Tutor. So what do we want to Demonic Tutor for is the question. Our own mana drain, maybe? Not sure. We just want to get Fable down. Fable could start enabling some shenanigans. We can get Jace. Like, we can play any of these spells next turn. I'm not sure what to get here, but I just didn't want to let the mana go to waste here with the demonic. So we'll just grab this Jace. It'll probably be good if there's any craziness going on over there. Memory Deluge, okay, more card draw. Our opponent's drawn a lot of cards off the Hydroid and now the Memory Deluge. So I don't think our Hymn to Turax's that great right now. Would like to get a few more lands here to open up some more options on our side. And looks like no more plays from our opponent. Okay, Murderous Rider is a good draw as it can deal with troublesome Planeswalkers on the other side. I do want to keep these lands, at least one of them. We have plenty of card draw in hand here with stuff like Jace. And yeah, we can pitch the Lily, I guess, since we have the Toxic and the Murderous Rider. I wonder if our opponent has another counterspell, however. Let's see if we can maybe get rid of a counterspell by having our opponent discard 2. All right, an Upheaval and a Caryatid. Interesting. All right, no whammies here, please. Yeah, there's the mana leak. All right. 2 counterspells from our opponent. Glad we got the Upheaval out of their hand. And we'll get in there with the Golos and pass the turn. So now we're back down to having no card draw. I mean, we do have the filter with Dak, which is real nice. And I do like having this Murderous Rider and Toxic Deluge in hand. So I'm not really worried about creatures too much. I just don't want to lose the card resource war. Grim Monolith. All right, interesting. Like, I want to steal that as well, but we're going to have to uptick Dak again to do it. All right, they immediately tap it. Ooh, into a Time Twister. I'm kind of okay with that. All right, we have a Consecrated Sphinx, though, I mean, that just means our opponent gets their counterspells shuffled back into their deck, unfortunately. But at least we got some lands here that can help filter and pitch with Dak. All right, opponent does play Charted Course with Memory Deluge discarding, and then they fast bond, so that's pretty good. A lot of mana over there on our opponent's side. Then they Elvish Reclaimer. Yep, that's a problem. Elvish Reclaimer, Thespian Stage. Looks like they have the Dark Depths combo, which means we're gonna have to play this Duretti or find some removal here with Dak. Well, there's Murderous Rider. So that's pretty good. So let's plus with Dak again here. There's our Jace back, which is quite nice. They do not have 2 blue. No, they could have 2 blue mana. Their Flooded Strand is not cracked yet. We do have 2 pieces of removal here, and we can play both of them, both the Swift End on the Murderous Rider and the Duretti. Yeah, but by playing the Creeping Tar Pit that way, now we can't, because we need 3 black mana, and we only have 2. So playing that Creeping Tar Pit, that was a punt. Let's mark the counter. And let's hope that whatever spell we choose to play here does not get countered. All right, does this resolve? All right, whew, it does resolve. No counters. We lucked out a little bit there, I think. I guess we can chart a course here with our mana, though we could have well chart a course after attacks. We do draw a Marsh Flats and a Gonti. Yeah, we'll just ditch a Swamp here. We'll get in there. So definitely our choice of Planeswalkers next turn. And now we got our 6 cards in hand to our opponent's 2. They are going to untap their Grim Monolith. They have 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 mana. We're in Eldrazi territory here. We may just want to steal that Grim Monolith with the Dak. Ooh, I wonder if they're going to upheaval, because they did shuffle it back in. And if they upheaval with Fast Bond, that's just going to be game. Yep, there's the upheaval. All right, they have the Fast Bond. There's, I don't think, any way we can come back from this. Now, they do have just a lot of lands in hand, so there's an argument there that we could be okay with our Soul Ring. Not sure, but good old upheaval. All right, we are on the play this time, however. Yeah, so I guess what? We lost that game leading off on a Soul Ring. Let's see if we can do better. That hand's a little slow. Let's send it to the cat. This hand has Soul Ring and a Xander's Lounge. So we have all of our mana. Let's, again, this is a turn 2 Dak if we play the Blackleaf Cliffs. We don't, right? We could have gone Blackleaf Cliffs, Soul Ring into Island Dak is what it is. We can Petty Theft now, no, off the Xander's Lounge Soul Ring, and I think I will just to set our opponent back a turn a little bit here. All right, again, opponent just replays their Mystic, and ooh, there's that Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, that's a problem. We need some removal for that guy, big time. All right, well, there's Gonti. I'd rather play Gonti, I think, than Dak Faden. That could help us find removal, though, for the following turn, but that may be kind of late, you know? And we didn't really see any removal out of our opponent. We'll play the Lord of Luxury here. Let's see what we hit. Well, there's a Mana Drain and a Boseiju, but we'll need green to channel it, unfortunately. Dryad could be an interesting one here with having the Soul Ring and the extra mana in hand. Oh, I guess Boseiju does. See, the thing is, I don't think we can cast Boseiju for its channel cost if we steal it here. It does destroy target non-basic land, which if they go for the Dark Depths combo could be relevant. Let's see if we can. Yeah, it doesn't look like. Let's see if we can. I don't think we can channel that. That may have been an oops on the steal there, because there's no way for us to generate green mana. Opponent thirsts. Yeah, it would have been good to maybe hold Brazen Borrow in hand for a Dark Depths combo. Ooh, now Blackleaf Cliffs pretty interesting. We'll be able to both play Blackleaf Cliffs and cast Dak. Well, we can play back Blackleaf Cliffs and flash in the Brazen Borrower here. Or, I'm sorry, play him to Turok and flash in the Brazen Borrower. We get 2 artifacts, which is slightly unfortunate because we have a Dak. Yeah, I think it was for science there, right? Taking the Boseiju, see if we could channel it for any mana, but I knew that was like, it doesn't work. So we basically just took a land. All right, Nisa is a pretty good play. We are going to be able to flash in our Brazen here, but Nisa's going to generate 3/3s. Yep, making a land a dude. I love that the lands have vigilance. This Nisa is just very strong. All right, get in there for 4. Let's flash in our Brazen Borrower here. We need to try to hold this Nisa at risk a little bit. All right, land is unfortunate. Nothing to steal with the DAC. Yeah, I really should not have taken that Boseiju with the Gonti, huh? Like, literally anything would be better. And now if we play DAC, you know, the +2 -2, we won't be able to keep anything because we have no cards in hand. So I'm swinging both at Nisa here. We trade with a land. I guess that's okay. Opponent still has access to a decent amount of mana. Yep, there's 6 mana. Into a prime time. It's pretty good. And I will take a board wipe. Yep, they get Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. Yeah, definitely Dark Depths combo. Pretty nice here from the opponent. I think we just did not make good decisions this game in terms of what we took and when we used our Brazen Borrower. And we're really not putting on much pressure. Like, our opponent kind of has all day to do their game plan. So I think we've seen enough. Let's head into game 3. All right, game 3. We are on the play here, playing against JM Longus. Let's see if we can knock down the win. This hand seems great. I wish I had a Soul Ring. I wish every hand had a Soul Ring. But we have the option for Mana Drain into Fable or DAC. So it seems pretty good. And I like that we're on the play. If we were on the draw, this would be a little slow and reactive. But being on the play makes this a lot more palatable. All right, looks like just Forest Go from the opponent. We draw Murderous Rider. Let's play the Prismatic Vista. This will allow us to hold up Mana Drain, and we'll pass the turn back. Sylvan. We get 2, we could have 5. So countering this doesn't really allow us to play 2 spells next turn. So I think we're going to let it resolve, and we just get Fable down next turn. And we'll just save the Mana Drain for something later in the game. We're going to turn, though, fetch out our island, slam Fable, and we'll pass the turn. We'll have access to a decent amount of mana next turn with that Goblin Shaman. That Goblin Shaman making treasure tokens is just so busted. So much value in Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's just the card that keeps giving. So shields are momentarily down, but okay, they play Ignoble Hierarch. And what else? Oh, and a green sun for 1 for a Bird of Paradise. All right, this is a lot of ramp. We draw a Toxic Deluge, which is pretty nice. What do we want to get rid of? Let's get rid of DAC. I don't think our opponent's going to be playing any artifacts. We can ditch Chart a Course as well, though maybe we should have held on to Chart a Course. Let's attack with this Goblin Shaman. We'll have 5 mana available. We can Toxic Deluge and either him or hold up Mana Drain. And this is going to 3 for 1 our opponent, which is pretty nice. Like, losing the Goblin Shaman's not that much of an impact. So we'll tap to hold up Mana Drain. What you got, opponent? What you got? You have the concede. Oh, man, it's too bad. All right, let's head into game 2. This hand has 2 blue mana and a Bob. So we could play Mana Drain and Dark Confidant. We do have a Toxic Deluge, though, which is pretty good. So let's keep this, hoping we can draw 1 more mana. I'm happy to play a turn 2 Bob. Ooh, okay. Mox Emerald into Wall of Roots from the opponent. It's a pretty good start. We draw a Spiral Bluff, which is super nice, which means we have all 3 of our colors. We can play everything in our hand. All right, just land go. But now our opponent, in theory, is going to have access to 5 mana next turn. I want to actually hold up Mana Drain. The Wall of Roots, Mox Emerald combo means that, yeah, I mean, 5 mana is a lot. And Tireless Tracker, they're probably waiting to play a land after they play this. We can let that resolve. We are holding a Toxic Deluge. Now I'm feeling pretty sad about not playing my Dark Confidant. I don't really want a Toxic for 5. Now, Unholy Heat, though, so our opponent did not play a land, which is important to note. I'm going to hold up 2 blue mana again. I just heard my cats go running through here. All right, so now they do have 5 mana. And I'm going to counter whatever this is. Yeah, deranged tournament. See you later. I mean, we could answer it with Toxic Deluge pretty easily, but I'd rather have the 5 mana. All right, sweet. Mana drain, busted. We draw another swamp. So we have access to 9 mana this turn. So we can play Duretti, Bob, and Sword of Feast and Famine. Seems pretty decent. And we'll definitely just uptick on the Duretti, as I'm not too worried about the Wall of Roots just yet. Duretti comes down, construct. We can get the sword down for free. Put this sword in because it's pro green, and we can get the Bob down. So unfortunately, we can't equip the sword. We need 1 more mana, but we can do that next turn. All right, Thragtusk. Okay. You don't see a lot of Thragtusk anymore in Vintage Cube. It's not going to do too much against this Sword of Feast and Famine. Damnation, not the greatest draw. Gonti's a fine draw, though. Let's spend as much mana as we can here. This will cause our opponent to discard. Can't really do anything for 3 mana besides Toxic, and I don't want to kill my own Bob. This allows us to untap our lands, and we can play like Gonti, second main here. They ditched an Eternal Witness, which is kind of interesting. All right, what can we get here? We can get a Terastodon or an Oracle. I think we get the Oracle here, though there is argument to get the Terastodon in case they have natural order. Oracle will play best on our side, and Terastodon will remove a threat from their side. Let's take Oracle and we'll pass it back. All right, prime time. That's a big one, but they're going to have a hard time dealing with this sort of Feast and Famine for sure. 2 more forests enter the battlefield, so plenty of lands on our opponent's side now, but now they're top decking. They got no cards in hand. They're attacking. If we block with Gonti, it'll pop the Thragtusk, which makes our removal a little more live in our hand here. Again, we're drawing 2 cards a turn. We can downtick on Duretti. Yeah, Night's Whisper is a great draw. Downtick on Duretti to kill the Primetime. Again, because we got Sword, we want to spend as much mana during our first main as possible, so it untaps. So let's play this Oracle. Probably should have held a land in my hand. There's Xander's Lounge, so that's another land off the top, which is nice. Now we got a Soul Ring on top. We can attack with this Dark Confident. Opponent doesn't have any more cards to discard, but this will untap all our lands. We can play Night's Whisper, which will draw our Soul Ring for sure. And it draws a Fable. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Fable again, super strong. And now we can move this sword over to the Oracle, protect it a little bit more. All right, opponent. What are you going to find off the top here? Corrosive Portal is a great card, but we have a Duretti in play, which means we can sack stuff to kill artifacts and creatures. So I'm not going to let our opponent on top of that portal for sure. Let's get Ditch Toxic. Wish I could play this Treasure Cruise off the top of our library. All right, let's move this sword over and get in with attacks with our Goblin. In the Turak, a dead card in hand right now. We can also activate the Creeping Tar Pit, which let's put as much pressure on our opponent as possible. And using that treasure token we just made, we'll downtick the Duretti to kill the portal. See a Coercive Portal. All right, we'll just move the sword over. Feeling pretty good here. I think we have lethal next turn. Yep, that'll do it. All right, game 3 in the books. That was the Grixis Walker Control. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, hope to see you all at CUBECON coming up here just a few days. Anyways, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling with me here. Don't touch that dial and let's keep cubing.